the RSS had proclaimed at just after independence that there were several enemies of the country and communists were supposed to be one of them. It's not our fault that what we speak rings true with people. He needs to answer who ordered the firing of pellet guns. Basic human dignity, basic human rights cannot be devoid to a big section of this country. We, united, can change something in the system. Started working with the CJP. We did not merge with the CJP or Sonam Wangchuk. Sonam Wangchuk played a role in consolidating this movement. Ask women how they are looked at on the streets. Ask women what kind of things are talked about them in WhatsApp groups. That while BJP was becoming so unpopular in other parts of the country, and Bengal has suddenly, I don't know.
সম্প্রতি দেশ উত্তাল হয়েছে ককরোচ জনতা পার্টির মুভমেন্টে। সেই মুভমেন্টে আপনারা সকলেই দেখেছেন আইসার সর্বভারতীয় সভাপতি নেহাকে। সেই নেহা আজ কলকাতায় দ্য ওয়ালের মুখোমুখি। Well, Neha, welcome to the wall. The first thing that I would like to ask you is that the traditional left-wing student organizations, they have been accused of coattailing the movements which are decentralized, okay, quote-unquote decentralized movements. There have been accusations that the left-wing student unions, the leaders, they have joined the CJP movement to basically, get the ideological leadership, to take the ideological leadership in that specific movement. How do you respond to that criticism?
I don't know where it is coming from. Is this coming from the right wing? I don't know. But all I want to say is that, so as left organizations who were part of the movement in Jantar Mantar, we know what the student movement is. We have fought against paper leak for years. We have been jailed for it. We have been detained for it. We have several charge sheets against our activists for fighting this very system. So the fact that we were part of the protests, and when people asked us, people gave us the mic or people asked us to talk in front of their cameras, and what we spoke, it rung true with people. People connected to it. And that's not us trying to, hijack ideological leadership. That's just people recognizing that these are the people who understand the movement. They have experience building the movement. And what Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation is not just the resignation of one person, but it stands as the first step in correcting a system which has been wrong and incorrect at so many levels for a long time. And that articulation came from left student organizations. It's not our fault that what we speak rings true with people. I think it's a good thing about the left movements that people listen to our activists, they listen to us, and they think that these people are speaking what needs to be said.
Okay, so Amit Shah has agreed to speak about the protest in Lok Sabha. And Kiran Rijiju has asked the opposition to let him speak. And now Rahul Gandhi has said that before lecturing the Lok Sabha, Amit Shah should answer who ordered the firing of pellets. Now, what do you feel, that they should let him speak, or Congress should be they should stand steady where they are being rigid?
No, I think what the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, is saying is correct. If Amit Shah wishes to come to Parliament after his long absence from it, he needs to answer who ordered the firing of pellet guns, and not just the firing of pellet guns, who ordered the distribution of pellet guns on the morning of the 20th, who ordered this overnight change of the Commissioner of Police, this Commissioner of Police who was overseeing how the 20th protests would be dealt with by the security forces, by the police forces, CRPF, all other security forces. So he should answer that. I agree with the leader of opposition on this.
Okay, so say AISA, CPIML, and other left-wing student unions as well, and the left organizations, they have led many successful student movements inside the campus, but that has rarely translated into electoral success outside. I mean, not largely, in very small spaces. Okay, so what do you feel that student movement, they are basically cocooned to a specific echo chamber and divorced from the practical politics outside?
I don't think so. I think that there has been a very prolonged campaign where a lot of resources have been used, a lot of state machinery has been used to not just delegitimize the left largely, the left, but there have been sustained state-sponsored campaigns to ensure the complete extermination of communists, the left in this country. Long ago, the RSS had proclaimed just after independence that there were several enemies of the country and communists were supposed to be one of them. It had been proclaimed. It has been proclaimed again and again since then by various political parties of the ruling classes that we fear the left. You fear the left because what over the period of time electoral politics had become was a representation of the ruling classes of this country. The people, the working people, the laboring people, the common people who would cast their votes could not even dream of entering parliament or see themselves as a member of parliament, see themselves as representatives of the neighborhoods, the villages, the cities and towns where they had themselves grown up in. So the left challenges that fundamental idea, and it is very important for non-left sections of the society to challenge that. However, we are at a stage of an anti-fascist united front, and in that manner, I think what the left has done, even to that extent, is provide an ideological and political leadership in consolidating that anti-fascist front, in consolidating what the opposition continuously reiterating that we must reject the politics of the fascists in our country should look like. So I think to that extent, that is, my answer on this. And with regard to electoral politics, a lot has gone into keeping the left out of electoral politics, and a lot will go into us coming back there.
Do you feel that there is a need of a broader left coalition to basically fight the BJP? The other left organizations, the parties, they should shed their dogmatism and fight with Congress more together?
Fight together, right?
Yes.
Yeah, when there is a fundamental danger to the idea of what a democracy is and to all other institutions of a democracy, then it is our responsibility as the left, as perhaps the most historically, politically honest section of the political classes, to lead, to not just be part of this broader anti-BJP front, but to also lead it politically, to lead it, to give direction to it, to keep it together. And I think personally, the political affiliations that I come from, we have tried our best to keep it together at the level of student organizations as well as student activists in our universities, and also at the larger level, because you mentioned the CPIML liberation. So at all levels, we understand our historic responsibility of consolidating and strengthening the anti-BJP, anti-fascist united front, and we appeal to all other forces to come together for it, realize that this is of utmost urgency and utmost importance.
What sets CPIML apart from other left parties? Are they more pragmatic than the other ones? What do you feel? What's your take on it?
No, it's not just about pragmatism. When you say that you're an ML party, you mean something. That L means something. That Leninism means something. It means, we have continuously, there are very sections of the ML sections also, there are different political communist parties. That is also true. But if you want to understand what is different, then you will have to look at our history. You'll have to look at our history here in Bengal. You'll have to look at how we emerged out of an assertion of the laboring working classes who said that the land that we work on must also belong to us. Basic human dignity, basic human rights cannot be devoid to a big section of this country, and you cannot continue calling yourself a democracy if this is happening. That assertion is where ML liberation emerged out of. The assertion against feudal oppression in Bihar, the assertion of the landless poor, the assertion of the poor Muslims, Dalits in Bihar is where the liberation emerged out of. The assertion of the landless Dalit population in Punjab is where this assertion emerged out of. So if you want to look at how we are different or why we are different, you'll have to look at our history.
Okay, so following the last protest and few in the last few years, you have been called anti-national and everything. So, what do you think the moderate students who basically agree on, say, on paper leak or issues like that may alienate in the broader political positioning? I mean, how do you respond to that?
I think that's completely fine, because what this movement did is also make the idea of politics not such an untouchable thing. Whereas young people were taught from a young age to not be political, to equate politics with corruption, to equate politics with, amassing a wealth and making yourselves rich while the people that you're supposed to represent remain to be poor and their rights are curtailed. While that was what politics was equated with, this movement made it possible for people to see that politics meant that all of us could be part of this project where we change the system that we also exist in, and the system which has power over us, we united can change something in the system. And politics is something cool that we must all do. Politics is jokes, politics is satire, politics is humor, politics is poetry, politics is holding each other's hand when the going gets tough, politics is standing up for one another, and it became cool, and that's the best thing that can ever happen to politics. And I think that is what I would say.
Was it correct on the part of Mr. Sonam Wangchuk to basically break his fast on the in the presence of JP Nadda and Jitendra Singh?
See, when we started working with the CJP, we did not merge with the CJP or Sonam Wangchuk, right? We remained AISA. We are a separate student organization. And in that manner, we have differences with Mr. Wangchuk and his political understanding. So why he broke his fast at the insistence of JP Nadda, I don't know that. And we might agree, not agree, at different aspects. I guess we can even say that Sonam Wangchuk played a role in consolidating this movement, bringing people to a common platform where they would sympathize with the fact that there was an old man, a very reputed educationist, who was sitting down on hunger strike, demanding reforms in the education system, and we were one in his struggle, in his hunger strike. So he had a role to play, but we do have different differences with his political understanding, not just on that, but on the NEP, on how he looks at the government. So I think, but that's fine, because we were united in our struggle for reform in the education system, or for them in the Pradhan's resignation.
I mean, at the very end of this interview, I'll just ask you one more thing. While protesting against the NEET, paper leak and everything, there is one more issue, that is the Students' Union election, which is basically withheld in many states. Do you think that Students' Union, those are basically losing the institutional power inside the campus?
No, this has been a systematic project to weaken student unions, because student unions were places or were representative bodies that were doing two things. One thing that they were doing was politicizing young people. And by politicizing, I just don't mean that they would contest elections. But when university elections happen, they generally don't happen based on money and muscle politics alone. They happen based on a tussle of ideas, a competition of ideas. And when ideas are competing with each other, nobody chooses an ideology which is bankrupt, which has ahistorical facts to back itself, which has non-scientific arguments to sustain itself and make itself popular. Nobody chooses that. Young people studying in universities don't choose that. And that was always a challenge for the ruling classes, right? And the second thing that it did was it, through example, presented a very strong contrast to the nationwide electoral elections that we see. Because one was telling you that, look, in our universities, these student activists, they come to our rooms, they come to our classrooms, they tell us their agendas, we can question them, we can ask them, what are you doing, what are you not doing, where did the funds for this go? But look, when people reach the parliament, they become so inaccessible to the people. Look how much money they spend on winning this election. Why don't they come to us with their ideas? Why is it that money and muscle is being mobilized for them to gain popular support? in national politics or in state politics? Why is it not like a university election where people are elected based on the ideas they represent, based on the politics that they represent, based on the history of work that they have done in a university? So it was very important that this be dismantled. And with the coming in of the people in power in Bengal also, we continuously make this joke, we're making it with other people also, that while BJP was becoming so unpopular in other parts of the country, and Bengal has suddenly, I don't know, decided to go with the BJP. We understand that there is a history to that also, that there was a grave history of dissatisfaction and frustration with the previous regime, because of which people thought that perhaps this was the alternative. But other states and years of BJP rule in those states will tell you that this is not the answer. So I think, yeah, that.
Well, I'll just ask you the last thing, which I cannot go without asking, is that you have been, targeted continuously with online trolls, social media, everything. We have seen memes, even videos, AI videos, everything.
Oh, there are AI videos.
How do you deal with it?
I am a student activist. We have been asked people, who are into student activism, this happens. This has become a part of our life. And why just student activists? Ask women how they are looked at on the streets. Ask women what kind of things are talked about them in WhatsApp groups. Ask women. Ask people from marginalized gender identities that I also come from. Ask people how they are looked at, the labels that are thrown at them. And then ask people who speak truth to power. Ask them how they are dealt with. What I faced is barely anything. What is a few ml of ink going to do, a few mls of ink going to do to me? Or what is a harmless comment or a troll going to do to me? When I know of people, like Khudiram Bose, like so many, like Bhagat Singh, like Ambedkar, who have given so much more to this country and to this society. So it's barely anything, but it's not nothing as well. I'm a student activist, but the 15-year-old Ruchika, she's not a student activist. She doesn't know that this fear that she's feeling might not translate to something on the ground. She doesn't know that a case might not be registered. I am part of a student organization. My entire organization is the work of student activists in AISA, the relentless labor of our activists and comrades, is because of which I am able to sit here and talk to you. Because there are other comrades in the background who are doing the other work, right? So I have an entire organization to back me up. What about these protesters who don't have an organization? Why are they being targeted? What kind of a society decides that it is going to punish its 15-year-old girls, its women, its protesters, it's peaceful protesters? What kind of a society decides that they should be met with violence, with harassment, with police cases? This is completely absurd, and perhaps an example of why, a testament of why we must work towards changing all of this.
Yeah. Thank you, Neha. Thank you for giving us so much time.
Thank you.
Camera Shoptika Shange Anushtu, The Wall, Kolkata.